Welcome back. I'm at the Padilla Bay Trail, which is just outside of Anacortes, Washington, and I just came from there. And I even did a video recently of Anacortes. If you haven't seen that video, I'd recommend checking it out. But basically, this video is going to be the drive from Anacortes, Washington to Bellingham, Washington, which I expect will be my next video after this one. There's a lot of public lands, including this wildlife refuge that this trail is on. There's some state parks and some other public lands as well. We're also going to drive along Chuckanut Drive, which has some overlooks. I'm expecting we'll see some great views of the Padilla Bay, maybe even the San Juan Islands. So let's get into it. Looks like the tide is pretty far out right now. I'm sure if we came back in a couple hours, this whole muddy area down there would be covered in water. Okay, I made it to the other trailhead. This trail is just over 2 miles in length. I will point out that I definitely love these types of hikes through the countryside or the farmlands. I don't get to do it very often. It's usually either on some trail in an urban environment or on a trail in the middle of the forest. I'll also point out that this trail is on the top of a dike, which separates the bay from the farmlands, and it looks like the tide is pretty far out right now. Okay, I'm almost back to the van. It was a nice change of pace to hike through the countryside. I'm gonna get back to the van, have lunch, chill out for a little bit. I'm gonna head to the Bayview State Park. Okay, I've made it to Bayview State Park, and it is very windy today, but the Bayview State Park is very small. You're basically looking at the entire day use area. There's a small campground across the road. We'll go check that out in a moment. You probably can just see it, but there's a kite surfer out there. Yeah, I'm headed over to the campground just to check it out. I'm at the campground now. It's a pretty generic campground. There's some decent privacy between the sites, and there are a couple of cabins that you can rent here. Okay, we're moving along now, and we're in the wildlife refuge. I think most of this land is private, but they do allow hunting. Okay, it's getting on the day. I've spent quite a bit of time exploring around, and I found this nice little spot. From what I can gather, the locals try to keep it on the down low, and I can see why, so I'm not going to really tell you where this is at. Good morning. I'm on Chuckanut Drive now, and we're at one of the overlooks, and I'll say that the footage is not going to do it justice, so I'm going to leave you with this one overlook, and then we're going to move right on. Right now I'm at the Larrabee State Park. I'm getting a little late start today. I spent a lot of time yesterday exploring the Chuckanut Drive. There was a lot of pullouts, view areas. Some had social trails down to the water, but there really wasn't a lot going on there. Good views though. Today I'll spend most of the day up here at Larrabee State Park. It seems like there's a lot to do here. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do today is go down to Clayton Beach. It's about half a mile from the Lost Lake trailhead. It looks like they've done a lot of work on this trail recently. They put some boardwalks in, a new bridge over the railroad tracks, and laid some fresh gravel. Okay, I made it down to Clayton Beach, and you'll see from the next couple of clips, it looks like there may have been some industry down here at one point. I find these rocks fascinating in the way the ocean has eroded them. Here's another rock formation that I find interesting that was carved by the ocean. Before heading back to the van, I decided to hike a little bit on the inner urban trail here at Larrabee State Park. I'll head back to the van here in a little bit and have lunch, and then we'll continue to explore the park. There's a few other day use areas here. Okay, I'm on the north side of the park now. I don't really know what this day use area is called. It's kind of broken up into 3 different areas. There is a campground and a boat launch. I ended up parking closer to the beach. There's a couple of short trails that connect different sections of the waterfront from this overlook to the beach to the boat ramp, which you may now be able to see way off in the distance. There's some more of these rock formations down in this section of the waterfront that were carved by the ocean. Alright, I'm on one of the short trails. I'm headed from the overlook to the beach area now. In the very far right, you may notice a rock wall. There was some rock climbers out today. I thought I'd be able to save some time getting back to the van by following a road that led from the boat ramp to the campground. I don't know if it actually saved me any time. I did stop by the van briefly before doing some more hiking, and here we are at the Fragrance Lake Trail. I'm on the Fragrance Lake Trail, and right at the beginning it looks like there's going to be quite a bit of elevation gain, so that's good. This trail is considerably longer than the other trails that I've been on today. It's 2 miles one way if I go all the way to the lake, but I'm just going to go to the overlook, which is 0.9 miles from the trailhead. This trail also connects with the inner urban trail, which I did some research on. Goes all the way into Bellingham, so yeah, should be a good hike. I've made it to the overlook, and this island, it seems like the tallest, although looks like can be deceiving kind of off to a right, I think is Loomy Island, which is not part of the San Juans. And the islands way off in the distance are part of the San Juan Islands. Okay, I'm almost finished with my hike on the Fragrance Lake Trail, and then this will wrap up Larrabee State Park. Once I get back to the van, we'll continue along Chuckanut Drive. Okay, I'm at the Woodstock Farm. This is actually managed by the Bellingham Parks and Rec. This will be the last stop on my trip from Anacortes to Bellingham, so let's explore this park for a little bit, and then we'll call it a wrap. This body of water that we're looking at is part of Bellingham Bay. Okay, this is going to wrap it up for my drive from Anacortes to Bellingham. Stick around for my next video where I'll be exploring Bellingham. I want to thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.